What's up, Facebook family? It's a beautifully cold, rainy, wet day here in downtown Vancouver. Just picked up some dog food. What's up, those of you listening on Facebook Live replay? Thoughts just enter my mind after client calls, and I feel that they are so valuable that I can't hide them. And I want to share this with you because it made me think about why I kept playing small in my life, why I held back, why I would constantly hide my voice or not give myself any permission to step up and speak and make a difference. And it came from a revelation of a client call. So the reason why I wanted to share this with you is because I feel that you would benefit greatly. First and foremost, I would love some engagement. Let me know. This was spontaneous. It wasn't planned. So if you're tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from. If you know somebody, hey, I'm back. Okay, something freaky happened with the phone. So here we are. What's up, Sino? What's going on? I wanted to share this very important message because I kept playing small for the longest time, and client after client keeps coming to me who are, people who are stressed, depressed, anxious, and the biggest complaint that they have is, I feel stuck. Why is it that I can't step up? And let me know if you can relate. This is specifically for people who want more from their careers, want more from their lives, but they are judging the crap out of themselves because they're not where they want to be. There's a gap between where they are as far as in their career, or where they would love to step up, where they would love to actually make a bigger difference in the current reality that they're going through. And so what I got from this when I looked at my own life was that the reason why this one question was asked to me by one of my coaches. And so I'm going to ask this of you. What if I told you that there are people out there who are not sleeping at night, and are struggling and are having a very difficult time in their lives because you aren't stepping up to serve them? Okay. Hey, Lisa, what's up? What if I told you, this is one of those Morpheus questions, what if I told you? Morpheus, because it's funny, because I was awoken by many Morpheuses, and now I get to play the role of Morpheus in the lives of my clients. And so what I'm asking is, what if I told you, and yeah, thank you for the likes, and please tag somebody who's playing small in their lives, whether they're in a relationship or in their career. What if I told you that there's people out there who are actually suffering because you are failing to step up and serve them, because you are focusing on your own inadequacies, because you're focusing on what's not working in your life, because you're focusing on not having all your ducks lined up in a row. You got too many love handles, too much in your love handles. You got, what else? You're not tall enough. You're too fat. You don't have the education, or you don't have as nice a car, or whatever the hell excuse that you're giving. And that's what you're attributing to you not stepping up and actually serving people according to what you know how to help others with. This is very important for those of you who are listening who are in the healthcare professions. A lot of my clients are healthcare professionals who are dealing with this constant imposter syndrome. What we're talking about is imposter syndrome, and it is a pandemic. It causes a great deal of anxiety. It's characterized by you knowing that there's a greater purpose for your life. You know that you were called on this earth for something greater, but the problem is that you're not, stepping up because there's a story that you have about yourself because of what happened with mom. You were abandoned by dad. There was a sexual event that happened that you're still not happy about. One of the clients in my program was complaining about the fact that he wasn't making enough money, and essentially when I had a conversation with him, we diagnosed it as a lack of power. And a lack of power, if you don't have power, then you don't have a voice. You don't feel yourself worthy of speaking up and sharing. You start to play small. And that's what I was doing. And so when I realized the reason I was playing small was because the hormones of stress. So events happened in my life a year and a half ago, which led me to not sell the chiropractic practice for what I expected. And I saw myself as a failure. 15 years of my life's work down to the sale price was pennies compared to what I had expected. And so that led me into believing that I'm a failure, that I'm not worthy, and completely lost my voice. And as a result, I kept playing small. And how do you know if you're playing small? You know it because you're constantly repeating affirmations like, I'm no good, I'm a failure, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough. This is what we call in my, hey Mina, what's up? What I call in my work, the voice of the dark passenger. And we all have it, but the problem is that we don't actually learn in school how to manage that voice and how to use it for our power, and how to distinguish the voice from the truth. And that voice is part of our truth, but we don't know how to play with it. You haven't yet learned. It's not your fault, it's just that you haven't yet learned. And so what happens is you play small. And what does that look like for you? It looks like you not giving yourself permission to step up and take that promotion. It means not having the courage to speak to someone. Okay, like there's a person that you need to talk to, your boss. There's a conversation that you're not having with your partner. There is a project that you know that's really deeply connected to who you are, but you think, who am I to be making such a difference? Who am I to be making such a difference? Who am I to speak up and step out? So I was playing that small game. And so what I did, why we play small is because of the hormones of stress, because events have happened which have created chemical reactions in our bodies, and we've become addicted to those chemicals. And every morning we wake up and we repeat the story, repeat. And then after a while you say, well, what's wrong? What's going on? Well, that thing happened about 3 months ago or 5 years ago, and I'm still addicted to the emotions associated with what happened. And so in order for us to change that story, it's kind of like breaking a habit, and it takes work, and it takes us vigilantly going after all of our resentments and regrets and turning the stories around to reveal at the time why things should have gone exactly as they did. It's not an easy process. I had to sit down and really clear the judgment of myself of why I got myself in such a shitty situation last year, and really see that the decisions that I had made were actually not mistakes, because at the time I was following my heart and my values, even though the outcomes didn't go according to what I had fantasized about. But by peeling back the layers and really understanding that everything that I said, everything that I did at the time was exactly in alignment with where I was at, it then liberated me for changing that story and making a completely new decision and creating a whole new possibility in my life. Because when you are living in the world of those resentments and regrets that are causing you to be playing small, you are taking your past and you're whipping it into your future, and you are literally recreating a future where it's all about those resentments and regrets, and you occur to yourself as a complete failure, as a fraud, as a phony, which many of my healthcare practitioners, my chiropractic clients that I work with, or nutritionists or people in network marketing who are really trying to become leaders of their teams, they don't feel worthy of it because they're playing small because of the hormones of stress of those events that happened in the past. So what do you do? Well, number one, you got to first and foremost make a declaration. You have to declare who it is that you'd love to be, what you'd love to be, what you'd love to do in order to get that, and what you'd love to have. And you must make a vigilant effort of living in your words, in your actions, in your way of being in that space. So the first step is to make a declaration. So what we call in my group, we do mission statements, and I connect to it each and every day before I'm speaking to you. The reason why I can speak and the reason why I don't have any blockages when it comes to my voice and what I'm sharing with you right now is because I'm connected to a mission, and that mission is not just about me. Of course, a mission is what we would love to be and do what we'd love to be for others, what we'd love to do for that, and then what we would love to receive in fair exchange. We all have a desire to give and to receive in fair exchange, but the mission statement really is about living for a future that's beyond just you. And I am committed. For example, the reason what gives me power to be able to speak up and then share what my voice is because I am committed to helping healthcare professionals with career and relationship transformation. So their relationships and their career are in a state of limbo, uncertainty, playing small, imposter syndrome. What I do is I basically help them change the story and live so that they know that they are the one, so that their careers, and they can create a ripple effect in their communities for their work, whether they have a practice or a yoga studio or whatever, and they have relationships that they feel are congruent and aligned without any stories in between them. So because I'm committed to that vision, that gives me the power to play bigger and speak with a more powerful voice. And you have that ability as well. It's just that what's in the way of that are the resentments and regrets and the old stories. So that's the first step, is making a declaration. The second thing that you're going to want to do is to really write down all the resentments and regrets that you have that lend you to believe that you're unworthy and you're a piece of shit. Pardon my language. But that's where it all comes from, and that's what's holding a lot of people back with the imposter syndrome, is the belief that they themselves aren't worthy. And so when you don't have that right, it's like this dark cloud hanging over you, and every step that you make to try to step up, you start to sabotage. You pull the rug out from under you, and you don't step up because you're wanting to unconsciously confirm your beliefs about yourself, that you're unworthy and you're not good enough. So you self-sabotage. But when you get this right, what happens is that you're able to get complete with your past. And when you look at your story, you don't see yourself as unworthy and powerless anymore. You see yourself as powerful. You see yourself as having choice. And there's an emptiness about the past that allows you to create a bigger possibility for your future. That's what happens when you get that right and you stop playing small because of those old stories, and you completely, Megan, I'm talking to you, honey. We're about to get started. Isn't it super late over there in the UK? Hey, what's up, Jerry? So basically what's important for you to get is that when you are hanging on to these stories about yourself from your past, you are playing small because you feel unworthy. So when you change those stories, you find your power again. What up, Lindsay? Nice to see you. You find your power again, and all of a sudden, that past is no longer pulling you down, and then you give yourself permission to stop playing small. Hey, what's up, Ali? Listen, this is for you, my friend. So clearing the past is critical, because now once you get that right, you feel lighter. One of the gals in my group, Fatima, she cleared a story about her past that led her believing that she was unworthy and not a good person and whatever. She cleared that, and over a weekend, you could see her body language and her posture completely change. She was like, oh, I completely see myself as worthy, because for 20 some odd years, she was telling a story that she's unworthy. Talk about playing small. So you might be playing small because you're holding on to this story. What was it for you? Was it you got fired from a job? You got dumped by a boyfriend? Your girlfriend cheated on you? You used to have a problem with drugs. Maybe you used to cut yourself. Maybe you had some binging and purging behavior, and you're still running that story that you're unworthy. And then the shitty part about that is that you think you got to be perfect in order to step up and play bigger. And so when you get this right, you embrace all of your flaws as though, yeah, this was part of my journey, and I'm a flawed leader. I am a flawed leader. I have my flaws, and that doesn't stop me from playing bigger. But by not clearing that story, I'm still going to play small. The third thing that you got to do is that you got to really make a list and account of all the people in your life that you have incompletes with. Because if you kind of had a lack of integrity with someone, and there's a fear that you have of walking into a room because you're going to, or walk into a space somewhere because you're going to run into somebody that you know, so you avoid certain situations, then you, my friend, have a lack of power. And we all have that. We've all, if you're 42 years old like myself, You're going to have, cases where there was breakdowns in relationship, where you lost touch because of a lack of fair exchange, or there was some betrayal or whatever. These have got to be understood. You got to write them all down, and you got to get complete with them. And the fourth thing that's important for you to do, number one, is create a declaration and a mission statement. Number two is clear all the resentments and regrets from your past. Number three is restore everybody that you have an incomplete with, that you have unspoken words for. Stop pretending that you're going to live forever. Get up and get complete with that. Number four thing that's important to do is to learn how to dance with this dark passenger of yours. This little voice that says, I'm not worthy. You got to learn how to dance with it. I sometimes feel like I'm a failure. I sometimes feel like I'm unworthy. I sometimes feel like I'm not good enough. Sometimes I feel that way. And what's different now that I've learned how to dance with that dark passenger is I don't try to suppress that anymore. I actually bring it up and I actually feel it. And I've now learned how to dance with those feelings and how to manage them and how to use them for good, because those are the things that keep us humble. Those are the things that keep us connected and relatable with other human beings. And for me to never have the feeling of I never have the feeling I'm not good enough, well, basically I become an even bigger of a cocky asshole than I already can be. And so thank God that I have this little dark side that keeps me climbing, that keeps me humble, that keeps me serving, really. And so when it shows up, I know exactly what to do. So it's important for you to learn how to dance with that darkness. What up, Nason? So once you learn how to dance with that dark side, then you now stop playing small, because you give yourself permission to step up. You give yourself a permission to rise up and to serve at a bigger level, because you don't consider yourself, you don't pretend like you are never supposed to be flawed. So hopefully that helps. And the fifth most important thing in order to stop playing small is stop trying to do it yourself. Stop thinking that you don't need strategic feedback and accountability, and you don't need skin in the game. Because if you don't have somebody like a mentor to push you, then you're not going to do it, because we only do things when we feel like it. And I don't feel like getting up and going to the gym in the morning. I don't feel like having uncomfortable conversations. However, if I have skin in the game and I've invested in myself and I have a mentor that I know, that I trust, who's been there, what happens is I will be more likely to actually do the work. I will get the results, and I will speed through and warp speed my growth rather than waiting to do it at my own pace, which doesn't really work because we don't like to get uncomfortable. So the last most important part is to invest in a mentor that really will help you get the results that you want, because quite frankly, doing it alone is probably why you're in that situation in the first place and playing small in the first place. So when I did all of those things, created a mission, vision statement, cleared my past, got 100% working on clearing and restoring the integrity in the past relationships in my life, and learning the tools so that when I do fall out of integrity, because I am only human, I can actually jump back on and know exactly what to do. And the fourth is learning how to dance with my darkness. What up, Jack? How you doing? And the fifth one is getting a mentor. So for those of you, let me know, was this useful for you? Those of you who just joined, make sure you watch the replay, because there was some gold nuggets here. And what I'm here to do is teach people that pills don't teach skills. And so I want to help people absolve the need of medication and get all these anxiety disorders and get depressed. Well, all they needed to do was change their mindset and get their lives in alignment, get their relationships in alignment, get their careers in alignment with their values, and starting to create meaningful projects and put meaning into their work rather than waiting for work to create meaning for them. This is what I'm here to do, and my superpower is helping people cut through their bullshit. So if you think that and you're tired of bullshitting yourself, hey Max, what's up, brother? Nice to see you. If you're sick and tired of your own bullshit and you're ready, and this is who I want to speak to. I want to speak to two people. I'm offering a free coaching session, and here's the criteria. Number one, you have to have a leadership heart. Like, you have to actually want to use what you learn to serve others in a bigger way. It can't be just about you, okay? Number one. Number two, you have recognized that it's you that's in your own way. So if you're going to call like the victims that want to blame their parents and what happened and from the past, and it was the economy or it was Donald Trump or whatever the hell you want to blame, I don't want to talk to you. This is not for you. This is for you if you actually, the specific individual is really tired of hearing their own bullshit stories that are excuses that they're not stepping up and living a life in alignment, which means waking up each day doing what you love, that is serving others, that scares them a little bit, that causes you to more than fill your present place, that you're now realizing that we're all going to die someday and we don't want to leave this planet thinking, did I do everything that I could with what I got? And I wanted to die knowing that I did everything I could with what I got. And I knew that living in Maple Ridge, British Columbia, only doing chiropractic work and not teaching people about their mindset alignment and getting their relationships and careers and their lives and their families in alignment, because that's what causes stress really, is relational and the stories that we tell. I knew that if I didn't step out and do that, I would be wasting my potential. And so this is specifically for you. I want you to message me privately and say, Nima, I've been wasting my potential. Okay? These are people who know that they are destined for something greater, but there's too big of a gap with where they would love to be with where they are now. That's who I want to talk to. And those that are ready, they're sick and tired of doing this. They've thought about it enough and they're ready to take action. So send me a private message. I'm offering 2 free coaching spots for a conversation. It doesn't necessarily mean you're ready, doesn't necessarily mean you want to work with me, or doesn't necessarily mean I want to work with you. First and foremost, I got to find out if we can solve this problem. And number 2, I got to decide if I really want to work with you, because I'm not right for everybody. I could be an asshole sometimes, so if you can't handle that, then it's not a proper connection. So we'd be able to find that out after our 1-hour conversation. So send me a private message. If this sounds like you, please tag somebody who has been playing small. Please share in the comment section what takeaways you got from this, and tap some hearts, some love. The currency on Facebook, if you appreciate this content, you'd like to hear more, this is free. There's no charge for this. It's just my time and my expertise and things that I feel that are going to help you. Please tap some love and share this with the people that you know that really need it, and tag somebody that you know. Otherwise, I will see you at the next perfect time.